Pete.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So I've not been particularly well, I'm not actually that well right now. I'm just able to make this video, so it's nothing to worry about, just a stomach bug. But I'm in two minds of being able to do the live stream tonight. I'll just have to wait and see. I just need to sleep, to be fair with you, and it's just difficult when you've got two kids that basically don't let you sleep, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty worn down, but let's have a look at the chats. I've not really been properly able to even look at chats properly, you know, just through time, the time. But so far, it does look quite good on the short-term time frames. This doesn't lead to full-scale, you know, reversal and all the way up. If anything, it does look like it's about to fizzle out in the short term, but that's not a big problem. We're looking for the monthly close, but on the 4 hourly, we've managed to reclaim this major area, which is 38,600. Goes back in time. We found ourselves being a bit of a major resistance. So again, there's just a 4 hourly time frame here. Major resistance again here, and we broke out from it. Didn't spend too much time at all trying to test it as a support. So this is the first time we've managed to use it as support. If we go down a bit further, if we look at these moving averages, you know, this push down again, a lot of this is going to be driven by outside the chart more now than ever, when there's huge issues taking place in the world, which is going to have all kinds of effects on all kinds of markets, which basically will put Bitcoin in a very unique position. Is it going to be the hedge? Is it going to be the place where people put their money to avoid, you know, catastrophe? You know, we see what's going on with the Russian ruble. You see what's probably going to take place with the euro now that SWIFT has been sanctioned, basically. So SWIFT is off the table for Russia. That's going to have a massive implication for, well, European countries, Germany, from what I can see. More than anyone, and that'll have an effect on the euro. So I mean, there's going to be some huge economic consequences to all the aspects of what's going on in the world right now. And so this could be, you know, the time for Bitcoin to actually come out of all of this on top as one place that could finally be, you know, what it's supposed to be, which is the place where you can trust and rely on your money being, well, we'll call it safe, but you know, maybe not safe from volatility, we'll call it, but safe from going to zero effectively. So it is the time. Really, now is the time. Right, so with that said, you know, we can still look at charts, and charts do mean things. You know, it is obviously being traded. You know, calamity hasn't yet occurred, but it's in the pipeline, I think. Economic calamity, that would be, just because of all the differences which are going to be resolved through huge sanctions and economic ties being severed, really. So at the moment, though, we are holding above this level, which again, you know, previously didn't have any kind of support. Now, over the last 36 hours or so, it has held at a support. We've got a 200 exponential above us at 40,400, and then a major area of support, resistance, sorry, which is going to be just below 41,000. Reclaiming that would be a really good sign. This could lead into the second golden cross, the one that usually goes into playing out as a major uptrend. But at the moment we're below the 200 exponential, so we can't really entertain that until we reclaim it, and that currently comes in at 40,400, give or take. So we take this to a daily term time frame, because the short term time frames, you know, they look like they do want a pullback. They may have already just received that, to be fair, but the short term time frames are kind of hanging in at that particular level of resistance, 38,000. Breaking down below there, it's not you know, the end of the world, but if we start breaking down and closing any candle really 4 hourly and above below 36,800, which is this area over here, then yeah, I think we could entertain very seriously that we do go down to make, you know, new lows, you know, back into this major zone here and below that. But for the moment, we're not there either. So where are we on the daily? What's going on? So the 10 exponential moving average, which is something that, you know, obviously we do need to be above to entertain that even the smallest uptrend on the daily. We're closing below, you know, effectively a resistance there. Closure below it here, closure below it here, closure so far, you know, this is where we're closing right now. So on the daily, this doesn't look particularly good. to be honest. Doesn't look particularly good. As far as momentum is concerned, though, that has and is currently changing. Every tick on the histogram since that big tick down has been positive. There's no positive cross on it, but it's definitely momentum shifting to the up, ever so slowly though. Now if we think about this RSI, what have we got here? It's messy, it's not exact. In fact, we'd probably measure it from this high over here. We do have a trend line here, a resistance trend line, to which we're at the moment as well. So you could think, alright, where are we going to go from here? Well, we have been rejected from the 21 exponential, which is a place that you'd expect to see a rejection from. That's where we're getting it, closing below the 10 exponential again. So when it really comes down to it, the higher term timeframes are still pretty bearish, you know. We don't have the major signal for huge bearish continuation that you'd expect to see on the Ichimoku cloud, the one we spoke about, the huge crash dump signal. That's not going to happen until we close below the Chiku span closes below this Ichimoku cloud. That's this week, I believe it's all the threes is how we remember it, 33,333, and also we need the candle body to close below there as well. That would be two of the last components of this 4 signal indicator to suggest we're going to come down to a larger extent. That's not happened, so that's good. The monthly, again, the monthly is looking pretty weak. You know, we've got this shooting star candle, but we are also bouncing from that center of the Bollinger Band, or the 21 exponential. We're above there effectively, but the rest of the momentum does look to be dwindling and wanted to go down. So I mean, we are really stuck between a rock and a hard place here, really. Higher term time frames, as in like the highest being the monthly, you know, even though on a chart formation basis, you know, it's still in favour of the bulls being above the centre of the Bollinger Band. You know, that's okay. Yeah, 65% more likely to stay above there. We're still above there, so that's good. The bears haven't got full control. The weekly, as far as its position on the chart is concerned, it's not particularly good, I have to say. You know, below pretty much all major moving averages. The only thing we don't have is that signal, which is good. Obviously, there's a 200 exponential down here. We don't really count that on the weekly. It'd take a full bear market to probably retrace to that level, to be honest with you, before we find a bounce. But we don't have the short signal on there. But when it comes to the daily and the 4 hourly, the daily is more bearish than it is bullish, and the 4 hourly, even though it's showing signs of strength, you know, being above the majority of our moving averages, we don't have any buy signals on it at this moment for continuation. And what we really want to see is to get above this 200 exponential. If we can hang around in this area of the cloud and poke our heads out, and then this our Chiku span creep out of here. So over the period of what well, this is a 41-day period at this current price level, and we don't know where we'll be even in a couple of days. But if we were to stay roughly around this price for about a month from now, we would get a buy signal. If we were higher than this, if we got outside of the of this major resistance 41,000, stayed above there, then the buy signal will be generated sooner, and actually it would be a lot more positive at that point, because we'd be above all the major moving averages on the 4 hourly. We'd get our golden cross, and that would be a continuation. So I still stick to what I say, really, more or less, which is, you know, the last video I made said, look, you can make some short-term trades on alts. It looks like they're going to get continuation in the short term. We're still getting that, and that's fine. Not to be too greedy on those altcoins personally. I've taken some profit on some of the entries that I've made, but I've not really been trading a great deal, to be honest with you. I've just been way too busy. My main thing is to focus on March into April and see where we are from there. But given all the events which are taking place in the world right now, it's going to make every single chart, no matter what it is that you're looking at, highly volatile, right? So it's going to make TA, you know, not worthless, but it's still useful. But I mean, it's going to be relatively unpredictable. And we've been saying this for a while now, so we can look at charts, we can have you know, precursors to big moves down and big moves up, but at the moment we're still in between the majority of them on all time frames, not really giving us any major indication of which direction it wants to take for a prolonged period of time. We can look at all the events taking place in the world, and we can write bullish and bearish fundamentals into all of that. You know, all I think is that what's going to happen in the very short term is volatility is probably going to be the biggest thing. So bot trades would probably be great, to be honest with you. Bot trades would be a great way to make the most of this volatility, and I think that there's going to be plenty of it. But for which major direction it wants to take at this particular level, it's completely undecided. The bulls are fighting back and they are looking quite good, but they are not in any position to call for a reversal. Bears are still relatively in control, but they're also not in a position right now to make a major move down. We are basically stuck in many ways between a $41,000 top and effectively a $36,800 bottom, and it would be effectively it would be a lot easier to judge which direction is going to form continuation depending on which area breaks first. Do we go from here and up, or do we go from here and down? And whichever way that takes us is likely to be the general direction in the long term. But for the moment, while we're still in this, it's not a no-go. It's not a no-trade zone, but it's going to be a hard one, especially with everything that's taken place in the world. So I'm going to leave it with you there. Patreon members, I'll let you know probably in a few hours if I'm even able to do the stream tonight. Otherwise, we'll just do the Tuesday and Friday, which is what's scheduled anyway for next week. Sometimes you just it just can't be done, And the last thing I want to do is make a promise that I can do it, and have to run off to the toilet and throw up, which is what I'm sort of holding on to, at the moment, while looking after 2 kids. So it's not easy, but there are obviously bigger struggles in the world right now. So I'm not looking for sympathy. Right, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.